Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to Train Simulator 2019. Today we're actually going to be out on the Horseshoe Curve route. I want to say this is one of like the older routes that came with Train Simulator back in the day when I started playing back in 2009. I want to say I believe it came with it, but it wasn't meant to be like the newer, like more modern style Horseshoe Curve. It's meant to be like one of the retro style from like the 70s, 60s, stuff like that, where you can run steam and like the older FGP7 units on there, like Pennsylvania, basically, when the Pennsylvania owned it. The Pennsylvania Railroad owned it. But instead of that, we're actually going to be playing as Norfolk Southern today. The current owner of the Horseshoe Curve route, I don't remember what the actual name of it is. The line, I can't remember. I don't think it's the Monongahela, because that's what's coming to me, but I don't think it's that. It's something. But morning, Altoona has called for some ballast, and we need to get it to them. Let's get going. That's basically all the description we have. Let's go ahead and hop in this and get going. Alright, morning. It is 4:30, and we have an important job. Altoona has called for some ballast, and we need to get it to them. Let's get going. Note, there's a freight train going in each direction here at Galitzin, so we will have to wait for one of them. Dispatcher must be tearing his hair out. But as you can see here, we're actually going to be driving SD60E number 6920, the Honoring the Veterans unit. We'll actually go ahead and take a closer look at this once we get to our signal here, just because I want to make sure we're actually going out here onto the main line so we can actually get ready after we get this signal after both of these trains pass. So I'll turn on my cab light here. Alright, let's move the throttle in forward, or at least the throttle a little bit. Put on the bell. Flashlight or ditch light should be on flash mode right now. They are not, so we'll actually go ahead and turn them on, because I think it's because oh no, our headlights are on bright. There we go. I do know what this locomotive though, that the ditch lights won't flash unless the reverser is set to forward or rear, or the ditch lights won't turn on, I want to say, unless it's set to forward or rear. But look at this locomotive though. This thing looks nice. This locomotive though, and there's the Illinois Terminal Heritage unit right here, NS 1072, my home state, Illinois. Haulin looks to be a little grain train going on down there. We're actually hauling ballast. Got 3 locomotives and a shit ton of cars full of ballast. We're going to start slowing down here for the signal. I'm going to put my throttle in idle and dim these headlights. Shut off our ditch lights. NS 6920. I'll stop. Galitzin. Track 2. I believe this is track 2. That's going to be a heck of a time stopping this thing. Should have everything dimmed. Awesome. But check out this locomotive though. It's actually a real life locomotive. I'm actually really happy that they made the SD60Es for Train Sim. It is made by TheLocoShop. This is actually a repaint off of Railworks America, which I'll have a link to it down in the description below, as well as a link to this locomotive. But basically what it is it's an NS exclusive locomotive. It's built off of an SD60 locomotive, just with a Norfolk Southern designated crescent cab, which is like their exclusive cab, which is what you see here. Basically it's like angled windows and stuff like that for added safety and whatnot. That's what they say it is, at least. It's kind of hard to see the signal here, but it looks like we still have a stop indication, and our request to pass it is denied. So there's the one heading one. Here's the one waiting on us after we wait on them. So I kind of see what they mean by the dispatcher pulling their hair out. But yeah, it's a really nice locomotive. They actually have 3 specially painted ones. They have this one for 6920. They have one that's called 911, which is like the first responders unit. It's not designated in this 6900 scheme. And then they also have 6963, I believe, with a go rail. But I know that they're in the 69 to 7000 series locomotives. And what's really cool about these locomotives is that in the LocoShop is that every designated number has its own horn. So I think it's like 6900 to 6940 or something like that will have its own horn. 6940 to like 6980 will have its own. 6980 to 7000, whatever number is the end, has its own horn as well. It's also really cool is that it has its own snow effect. But we still have a request to pass it is denied. It looks like we do have an Amtrak with superliners chilling back here for some unknown reason. That's kind of odd. I don't recall Amtrak with superliners ever being on this route. That is very odd, actually. Alright, now we're just gotta wait on our signal here. But the cab does look really, really nice, though. The one thing I don't really care for is that it's got two different speedometers. And as you see here, it says TheLocoShop Digital Services. I'm assuming one's PTC and one's, like, the regular speedometer. It does have the number up here, designated SD60E. It's got cab signaling. It's not as crowded as a regular SD60E locomotive interior would be, so it's nice and clean. I mean, I'd rather do the crowded one just because I kind of want the real feel to it. But as you see here, 6920 SD60E. I love that American flag it's got over there. I just like this locomotive in general, how it's got the blue, red, white, or the red, white, and blue, and then it just goes back to black, and then it has honoring our veterans, and it's just like a normal Norfolk Southern unit at the rear here. That's the one thing I enjoy about it. And then if you come look at it from the front here, it's basically a regular Norfolk Southern unit, just black and red, or blue and red with the black horse. Really, really nice looking. But I don't want to keep holding up this train. And there we go. Request to pass signal danger approved. NS6920 got an approach here. Gallitzin, main track number 1. I'm going to keep my headlights off because of the train up ahead. I don't want my ditch lights to be flashing. I want them off so we don't blind this guy. There we go. So we have an approach signal out of here. But what's really cool about this is that whenever I first started this scenario, it actually rolled with these two Norfolk Southern -9 locomotives. But I decided to go ahead with this other unit just because I haven't switched out the horns on these -9 locomotives, and the horns do sound like absolute trash, as they do on a lot of the default locomotives and stuff. So I just have to change out sounds and everything, and just haven't really done that yet. I've been trying to focus more on putting trains in than putting sounds in. But windows do open, doors do open, which is really cool for a regular steam. It's not regular dovetail games locomotive, so it's gonna we have a lot more features and stuff. You got number board lights, you got platform lights, crossing lights are set, so we can actually do this right now. I'm gonna push the throttle to 0 real quick. We'll do bright headlights, and then we'll do continuously on ditch lights. So that's really cool is that you have both lights now, and then I can turn the ditch lights off, and then just kind of run it like they would if they're going into a meet or something. So that's really cool about this entire locomotive. And like I said, it has a snow effect, the different horns. My only downfall with it is that the cab is really, really clean. It's not cluttered like it is in real life. We do have different cab lights, 3 different cab lights I believe we can put on. Yeah, 3, actually 4 we can put on, which is really cool. And what I like, it's actually got 3 different speedometers. So you have your circles up here, and then you have your analog or digital one down here as well, which is really cool. And then that train's just going to be waiting on us. Seems like, yep. So looks like we actually upgraded to an advanced approach, or a diversion approach, which is all good, because as you see here, it still shows us running on an approach. So we got sunshades working, we got cab lights. I believe this is your EOT computer or whatnot. We have instrument lights, wipers. We can turn on rear headlights and whatnot if we're running long hood forward, which is cool. Independent brake, normal train brake. Got a bunch of different sunshades we can work with. So it's actually a really, really cool locomotive, cool featuring locomotive, and this is actually an auto park train that we're meeting. We'll open up our conductor's windows here. Conductor side doesn't really have as much, just got a desk for him to do his paperwork, and that's about it. Got like I said, cab lights and sunshades and his little phone here, but doesn't have much of anything, like no emergency brake or nothing. That's the only downfall of it, but we're actually going to hop back onto my side here. About 30 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. I don't know what's going on. The game just like kind of froze. There we go. I don't know what the hell's going on. It just kind of froze on me. That was kind of weird. That was really weird. Now we're actually going downwards on a 1% grade. So what we want to do is we want to put her in dynamic. Just try to help us. And as 6920 approach, East Gallitzin, West Gallitzin, I don't even know. I don't even know what direction we're going, to be honest. So we're just going to be in dynamic. Have our train brake on as well. Kind of keep it at a steady 30.3. We're making down this descent here. One thing though I did notice with these headlights though is that they're not really bright. They don't illuminate as bright as I'd like them to. And that's like the only disadvantage of them. Like on the other units, they're really bright. Here, they're not as bright. But as you can see here, we're kind of speeding, going about 31 miles an hour. So we're currently in almost notch 3 of dynamic braking. And what the dynamic braking is, basically, it is instead of using the train's air brakes, which is going to be your normal train brake, it's actually using the traction motors to slow the train down. Instead of powering it up, it's using the traction motors to slow it down. So it's basically kind of like an engine brake on a truck. Pretty much like an engine brake on a truck, where instead of using air, it uses the train to slow itself down, the locomotive to slow itself down. So I'm going to throttle it up just a little bit. I want notch 1, there we go. So we got another approach. Now this line is all cab signal territory. So if the locomotive does not have cab signals, it cannot run on this. So normally Norfolk Southern is the one that only leads on this route. Hardly any like foreign power, which is like power that the railroad borrows, so like BNSF or CN or something, hardly any of them run on this route. This is all cab signal territory. So if it doesn't have the old Conrail, Pennsylvania cab signals, it cannot run on this route. So that's what this thing is right here. So clear, advanced approach, stop, basically. Of course, that's set up for like the newer version, whereas this is set up for like the older version. But it's still pretty much the exact same thing. Yeah. So we're just going to keep her in dynamics here. I'm going to release my actual train brake. Looks like we can... We're going down on a 1.8% grade right now, hauling some heavy ballast, so I mean... Yeah, we're hauling some heavy ballast, so I mean... I can see the train starting to take off from us with all that momentum just pushing down on us. So yeah, but you know what's really cool about this is that I believe that's how it works, is yeah, oh, nope, that's not how it works. So what are you? You're number board lights, and you're also number board lights. Okay, so I guess it's just one number board light. I was kind of confused on why they're both, because I thought it was one for like left and right, but I guess not. Alright, so we're kind of speeding up here. As you can see, we're going back up to 28. I'm going to go put her back in dynamic, notch 1. We can get into notch 1. There we go. Sometimes this rail driver is a pain in the ass. Sometimes it is. Looks like they got the, oh, central. Oh, okay. Looks like there's another heritage unit on this line today. We got the veterans unit. We have a Illinois terminal, and I believe that was a New Jersey one, I believe. Central of New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey Central lines. Another approach. With the dynamic in 3 right now. In 2. You don't want to go above 33 miles an hour. And 32 works for us. Looks like he's going to be another auto parts train. I remember back in the day whenever I was actually on this route, I had a shit ton of like Norfolk Southern locomotives put into this route, or put into this game. So literally what I did was I created a shit ton of scenarios for the Horseshoe Curve that featured a lot of like Norfolk Southern trains, and I just kind of drove them out. I kind of wish I had them saved so I can bring back some of those scenarios, but I might honestly make them, just because Norfolk Southern and Canadian National are like my two favorite freight railroads. So I had a lot of like content for what the hell? So I had a lot of content for those companies in here. So I had like Illinois Central, Wisconsin Central, all that fun stuff. So I had a lot of that stuff in, and I just kind of kept making scenarios for this. Like I did different types of trains, like I did juice trains, like trash trains, auto racks, auto parts, grain, a double stack, you name it, all different locomotives and stuff like that Norfolk Southern had. So I might try to do something like that again. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. We'll kind of see how this works out though, because I know once I update, or once it updates itself to Train Simulator 2020, I know that I'm going to go ahead and lose all that stuff, which kind of sucks. Then again, there's really not much I can do, but it looks like we're going to be on another approach here. That's all we're kind of doing, is running on approaches. So 30 miles an hour is fine with me for that. We're about 7.5 miles away from our slope yard, which is our final destination. Looks like we're actually upgraded to a clear. So we actually have our first clear of the entire trip today, even though it's a very, very short trip. But yeah, even though it's a very, very, very short trip. But yeah. One thing though I do enjoy about this, I don't know, I just like to look at these in real life. I've only seen them like once or twice. I've actually seen the 6920 at a, I think it was National Train Day up in Chicago. So I didn't actually get to sit in the cab of it, unfortunately, like I wanted to. But I did get pictures of it, and I think this summer I'm actually going to head on out to National Train Day in Chicago if they're doing anything for it. And then I'm also going to head out to Franklin Park Railroad Days, which is in Franklin Park, Illinois, if they are doing it this year. I'll try to get some like vlogs and stuff of it done and whatnot. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if I don't get a new job by then. But yeah, we're going about 29.1 miles an hour. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Looks like another clear, which is nice. We barely get clears in this, which is really, really nice, so I'm kind of happy about that. So we're about almost 6.5 miles away from our destination. I just want to admire this locomotive again because this looks so good. The only disadvantage with the repaint of this locomotive is that to put it in the game, it does replace the original regular painted Norfolk Southern SD60E, so you will have to make a backup of your engine folder, and that's the only disadvantage of it. It didn't come in as a add-on, which is unfortunate. So it does replace your default one. So if you want to end up putting this one in, you will have to make a backup. It does tell you how to do so in the README and where to go and whatnot. So that's a good sign. That is a good sign. But we had ourselves another train coming, so let's go ahead and dim our stuff. There he is. Oh, it's actually got CN on there. What the hell? I'm kind of surprised because CN doesn't have our cab signal. Weird. Weird. And I was just talking about cab signaling and how the only trains can run on this route are from with cab signals, and here I am lying to you guys because there's a CN train right there, so it's like, okay. That doesn't really make any sense, but I don't know. I don't know. Unless things have changed, but last time I knew is that the only trains that can run on it are cab signal territory trains. That's why the NS locomotives have them. So, I don't know. Maybe things have changed. I'm wondering if things have changed. Maybe they have. I don't know. But we are on another clear indication. Looks like it's got a DPU for seeing as well. So, I don't know. Maybe. That's a weird one. That is a definite weird one. Got a sander and everything on this trip today. We're actually still going down on that 1%, 1.8% grade. So, still a fun time. Still a very fun time. Here comes Screaming Dynamics again. Put the brake on, just try to hold that to we don't go above 31. We're coming up to a 35 right now, so we should be able to be in the clear. And I do apologize if my voice does sound a little bit quiet in this episode. I just realized I fucked up with the recording because I have Streamlabs picking up my mic and my external Reaper picking up my microphone. So I'm just going to go by what Streamlabs has so we don't have double microphones. So I do apologize if I do sound quiet. I didn't realize that until halfway through the recording. So it's a fun time. It's a very fun time. But I do plan on doing some more scenarios with the Horseshoe Curve, so stay tuned for those as well, because we're actually on the Horseshoe Curve right now. And why they call it the Horseshoe Curve is because you can actually see your train from the other side. And there's a train derailment with the Amtrak Pennsylvanian. And a box train. Interesting. I didn't even know Amtrak Pennsylvanian ran at 4:30 in the morning, but I guess there's a train derailment with a box train. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button if you did. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and you are brand new to the channel and do enjoy the content. Make sure you hit that bell as well. Follow me on all the socials. Twitter, Instagram, join the Discord server. Everything will be down in the description below. The SD60E link from Steam and the repaint will also be down in that description as well. And I will catch you guys here later.